What if you could learn from physical product entrepreneurs that have risen up from the trenches to dominating their market by creating successful physical product brands? Well, this podcast is hosted by me, Kunle Campbell, and it's about breaking the mold to becoming a smarter, savvier, and better product entrepreneur. You discover how to take physical products from concept through launch and to scaling up from physical product entrepreneurs who've taken their revolutionary ideas to 1 million, 10 million, and 50 million plus in revenue businesses. You'll also join me on my journey to build $1 million physical product brand business in a year, where we both will learn about crowdfunding, selling to retail chains, launching through marketplaces like Amazon, strategic partnerships, publicity, celebrity endorsements, and selling direct to consumers. So if you're creating or building a brand in the consumer packaged goods space, in fashion and apparel, business products, or any physical product niche, listen in because we have you covered. Join the fast track to physical product business success. This is the Physical Product Business Podcast. I'm Kunle Campbell. Let's get rolling. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the 2X eCommerce podcast show, or the Physical Product Business podcast show. We're all in the same, we're one show. And on today's episode, I'm going to be talking with someone special who's come from the YouTuber world to the physical product business world. We hardly ever have that, right, on the show. We typically have entrepreneurs who are working with YouTubers to build their business out. But my guest on today's episode, Daisy Jing, actually is a YouTuber, and she was able to develop a product business off the back of a passion on YouTube. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Daisy to the show. Welcome to the show, Daisy.
Great, thank you so much.
Fantastic, fantastic. Could you take a minute or less to kind of give a summary intro about yourself, please?
Yeah, so I have a YouTube channel. It's Daisr, DAISCRZ 89 on YouTube. I started it about 2010, and I just did it because I have really bad acne, and my skin has always been something that I'd struggled with for a long time. So I just thought it was super cool that I could review a product and an ordinary person like me could be influential in giving advice on what products worked or didn't work. So it was just purely accident, and I really loved and enjoyed doing it. And I was super passionate, and I would research a lot of skincare ingredients and just try out every single product. And I did that for about 5 or 6 years. Wow. And yeah, and it, honestly, starting the YouTube channel has been the absolutely hardest thing I've ever done. Much harder than running this business, because building something from nothing is so difficult. And when you're starting, you're getting like 1 or 2 views a video, right?
Right.
And then you get 3 views a video, and then you get 4, and it just incrementally, it's like, it doesn't happen where overnight you get, 1 million views. So it was a lot of persistence. I worked at least 40 hours a week just on my YouTube channel without making any money on it for the first 3 or 4 years. And I think people look at something and they see an overnight success, but really, it took me a lot of work before I saw any result. But I was very passionate about it, and I loved connecting with my subscribers and responding to comments. And then I became like a very good expert at beauty products, and I knew kind of everything about them. And the start of my product was very accidental. I was going to get my skin lasered, and I was going to go to this dermatologist to get my skin treated for some skin problems I had. And then he recommended certain ingredients in skincare, and then I just started, making them at home, and I just use them on myself with no intention of, giving them to anyone. And then people wanted me to sell them because they noticed the difference on my channel. Okay. And then I was like, okay, if they want them, let's try this out. And then, it got to the point where I would buy out, Office Depot's, all of their bubble mailers, right? Wow. Because it just kept selling out. So this is stuff you manufactured yourself. So products you manufactured, you put together yourself. Yeah, I made them in my kitchen. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I didn't know it was going to be something that worked for me.
Okay. Let's track back to a beautiful story, by the way. Great story, by the way. Mm-hmm. Let's track back to the very beginning. So 2010, you're a YouTuber, you have acne issues. That was quite bold, coming on video
Yes.
to share your problem. What inspired you to doing that?
I think it was because when I was younger, or ever since I was young, I looked different. I grew up in Minnesota, so I was the only non-blonde hair, blue-eyed person in my school. And when I looked at magazines, I looked at the media, you know, everyone is white. And I just felt like I couldn't fit in. So I was like, hey, on YouTube, I can connect with people who look like me or who look different. And I can be kind of the voice for just a regular girl with regular problems and help other people with that. So I think it was because I always felt like an outsider growing up, and I didn't really have a group or, you know, a group of friends. This was my like friend group, kind of.
So it's a sense of connection. So prior to setting up the show, these are the early days of YouTube, by the way, 2010. YouTube was 2008, it was 2007, I can't remember.
Yeah.
So in 2010, were you kind of looking at other video bloggers on YouTube and looking at what they were doing? Were you already friends with another wider community?
Not when I first started, no. There were, the bloggers were starting out too. But then maybe in 2012, 2013, I became more involved and connected with that community. Interesting.
Interesting. So you're a pioneer, really. Okay. All right. So you shoot your video. People would normally say, you find a solution to the problem. You find a cream that works, and you know, how do you keep interest on your show with content? Yes. On a topic like acne. Yes, that's what pops into my head. You know, how many things can I say about acne?
Yeah, that's been really difficult. That's been a huge struggle. YouTube now is so different than it was, you know, back when I first started. Before, you had a laptop and somewhat decent lighting and people would want to watch you. And now people have managers and production agents, and, you know, it costs maybe 6 figures, right, to start off creating your own studio. So it's so different now. And, you know, the channel, I wouldn't say it's dying, but it's definitely a lot harder to make it as popular as it once was. And I think a lot of creators are experiencing this as well, as it becomes more commercialized and larger, you know, companies start making their own shows. So yeah, it's been a, you know, it's kind of been a learning curve for that. I've noticed that though, authentic videos still perform well. I have tried hiring people to write the content for me, edit the content, do all that. And I've noticed that at the end of the day, people still really like to watch you and your comments. So I think authenticity is still really a big factor in YouTube. Yeah.
Okay, let's track back to what you just said with regards to hiring people to write and you doing it yourself. So in YouTube, do you script a show together, or would you just freestyle it, you know, just have a set of bullet points and, you know, kind of go with the bullet points and just go with the flow, more or less? Yeah.
In the beginning, and my most successful videos have always been super random. Wow. It's always been me just like randomly doing it. And my most, I guess, engaged videos are ones that are unscripted. Wow. And I find that the scripted ones don't perform well because I think for my channel, people want to see my thoughts or thoughts of someone very real and relatable. They don't want to see the scripted stuff. And I think that performs well. But I think it depends on what kind of channel and what kind of, you know, person you're trying to connect to.
Okay. So did you, prior to, let's move a bit forward to your first set of sales, you know, when you're in your kitchen putting together tubs of
the products,
your products, tubs of the cream. What did you do with regards to had you worked with any brands prior to those first sets of sales? Sorry, I'm saying this sound.
Yes, I did work with companies and brands, and so I would be sponsored to represent them, or you know, they'd send product. So I was very familiar with how to advertise, I guess, to other people, because you see it from both sides, and I think that was that was a very good experience to be on both sides of it.
Okay. And then you made the transition to actually solving people's problem. You saw there was a problem and you had a solution, and then you put it together. So how did you take your first orders? Was it straight on YouTube, or did you put together a Shopify site? Or
Yeah, it's very funny. It was very, very, whatever. And I think the whole takeaway of this is, don't worry about the fluff. Everyone's like, oh, I need an office. Oh, I need amazing packaging. Oh, I need to get this, great engineer before I can start my company. No. You don't need any of that. Like, you really just need to focus on your product and selling it. So when I first started, I had a blogger.com, right? I just made a blog site. I still remember this. I was on my couch. It took me like an hour maybe, and I put the PayPal link. And you just click on the PayPal and it goes straight to PayPal. And in the beginning, it was my personal PayPal because that was the only account I had, And then I was just like, oh, an order came, and I would literally like go in my kitchen, make it, and then go to Target, buy the bubble wrap, buy all the packaging equipment, and then I go to the post office, and everyone would be so mad because I didn't have a printer. Right. I didn't even have a printer, so the postman has to manually enter all the tracking numbers, and everyone got so mad at me because it didn't take up the time. But that was my life. I did everything. I did. The YouTube video making, the customer service emails, the shipment, the logistics part of it in the beginning. And I hired my first assistant, once I was barely getting by.
So was this 2015-ish?
No, it was 2013, 14.
2000.
Yeah.
So it's 3-4 years in. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah, and that was really great, hiring my first, assistant from a community college, paid a minimum wage, all that. So, she could have helped me with the shipping.
Did she come over to you? Was the setup still in your house? Was it still?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yep,
wow.
I had people coming in and out, and I had a roommate too. So
right.
Right. You just have to do. What you have to do.
It's hustle, really. You just have to put the hustle in.
Hustle.
Okay, so when did you realize that you needed some help from like a factory? You needed to outsource, this.
It's still we're still in that phase where, we now work with factories and manufacturers, but we still make some of the products ourselves too. Mm-hmm. So you can only buy the products from us. And I think it's a gradual learning curve, right? I think one thing that I really want to be is vertically integrated, control the shipping and the manufacturing and customer service and all that. We don't really outsource to anyone because it's so important to, if a customer orders this, we can change it immediately, or we can ship it out immediately. Okay.
So you have a team now. What does your team look like?
We have a lot of people who social media and customer service, a lot of people who help with emails, customer service. We have a team of people who actually package and ship, so I know everybody who packages and ships, and I think that's so important because they're the first interaction with the customer. So we're constantly trying out new ways to ship and package, and then I have marketing, accounting, but a lot of it is the social media or the marketing part of it.
Okay. I'm going to share a photo of your packaging because it looks from here almost like a subscription box. Did you have a subscription element to it?
Not really.
Okay.
You can. I think you can subscribe, but it's a very small portion of our revenue. So,
gotcha.
As I was thinking, I don't want this to be a subscription company. Mm-hmm. I remember, when I would purchase the subscription skincare products, it was such a pain to cancel, and it was just like I just didn't like that feeling that I had.
You had to pay an obligation.
So I don't want to leave that taste in customers' mouths. So, you buy the product, and if you like it, you can order it again. And if you don't like it, we also allow people to return too.
Okay. Could you give us an idea of the size of the business now? What kind of numbers are you doing?
Oh, in the 7 figures.
So how many orders do you process on a daily basis now?
I'll say we process a few thousand orders a month. So
not bad at all. Okay, right. Now let's get into YouTube now, and the role it plays in BANISH at the minute and your marketing. And I also want to talk about retention, as in returning customers. But let's talk about first YouTube. What role does your YouTube channel now play with BANISH as a business?
I 100% believe that if I didn't have my channel, this wouldn't be successful.
Okay.
It's so much about the story and about kind of this relatability that the customer has with me and my story and the authenticity of it. I think without that, it just wouldn't have sold. You get a lot of people trying to slap on an influencer or, something about, just slapping on someone famous on there, but you really have to have that story of how it happens. And I think it's really important to have also a face, right, to the brand. I think people resonate better with a face and a story than with just some great branding colors or design. It's
such an emotional before after story.
Emotional, yes. Emotionally relating to the customer. And I tell the team and our customers, we're not selling physical product. We're not selling that. We're selling this gift of confidence, of owning who you are and being okay with that. Because our customers are not, they're kind of the awkward turtles, right? The little wallflowers. They have skin problems and they might not like themselves. And we get a lot of customers asking, is your packaging discreet? Because they don't want, their husband or their boyfriend or friends to know that they have skin issues, right? So we're selling you, I guess, confidence to be yourself.
Absolutely. A transformation, a before and after. And it just fits into, that narrative, that marketing narrative, where you don't sell the features, you sell the story, you sell the passion, which is very, very, very fascinating. So, right now, where does, from a customer acquisition standpoint, I guess I should have framed the question better, is where do majority of your customers come from? Is it still from YouTube as it was in the beginning, or are you more diversified now from a marketing acquisition standpoint?
I think YouTube is still a huge part of it. And I think our most loyal customers have come originally from YouTube. We're also on, Instagram and Snapchat. I think that's something we are working on. But I also think a lot of it is also word of mouth too. So I think we hit a very good timing where, we were at the point where YouTube was really getting off the ground. And then now it's been more of word of mouth. I know YouTube now is so much harder to get into, and influencer marketing is so expensive now. So it's really about, can you discover that next social channel that people are on? And so
influencer marketing is expensive. I was asking some fashion vloggers, to help us out, and the charges are just astronomical right now. They're $1,000 plus, for anything decent. Which is interesting. So I'm on the Similar Web. It's an app I use on Google Chrome, and it shows that search is huge, for you guys, and obviously it's largely the US, Canada, a bit of the UK. And interestingly, are you a member of eCommerce Fuel? You are, yeah. So
I just joined, yes.
You just joined. So one of the top referrals to your site seems to be eCommerce Fuel, which is interesting.
Oh wow! Really? Oh my gosh! I need to pay more attention to that.
And another very interesting thing I'm seeing here is BANISH acne scars and BANISH roller kit are your top search phrases, which means your brand is you're up there, your brand awareness is there, so people are coming across, then they're coming across you somewhere else, and then they're using Google to kind of close the loop to come and find you guys, which is fascinating. Really, really good stuff. Okay, let's talk about customer retention. Customer retention. How many of your customers come back for more?
It's been a really long time since I looked into this, and it's definitely on my to-do list.
Yeah.
I would say maybe, was it 25-30%?
Well,
Is that a good number? I don't know.
It is good because I suppose for a proportion of your customer base, some people would have solved their problems. So they, correct me if I'm wrong, would they need to maintain, or is this secure? Is it?
No, they would need to maintain, and we get I have this one customer. She's ordered, in the 5-figure almost worth of product.
Wow.
And I follow her. I follow her on social media and stuff. She's just a regular, teenager. She gives to her friends, family. I think people like our products because they're very natural, and it's something more natural than chemical based. And so when people want to find something, to maintain their skin, or they feel like they need to cleanse it, then they can go and purchase the products. Yes.
So, given what you just said, I think it would be much higher. You probably would know better when you check the.
I really.
Yeah, I think.
It's so, because it's like you can calculate from the time your store has opened or from the past year.
Yeah.
So when I did look into it, I think that was the number, but I'm
okay. Fantastic. Okay, right. This is really interesting. Okay, so you have 200,000 subscribers on YouTube at the moment. Okay, let's track back to your YouTube, to the growth of your YouTube channel. How did you? So back in 2010, could you just give us the evolution of how your YouTube channel has grown to 200,000 now, 206,000 to be precise?
Yeah. It's kind of one of those, in terms of subscriber count, it's more of an exponential curve. So I think once you hit that 1,000 subscriber and then that 10,000, it just, kind of dominoes. But I think something to look at is the views per video, which my channel has struggled with that. And I think a lot of creators has struggled with that, because if you were on YouTube earlier, then you would have more subscribers. But, now I don't even think your subscribers get notified of the videos you post anymore, unless you turn on the notification. So that's been a challenge. It's just getting views as well. But it's just the more the bigger you are, the easier it is.
Yeah. I could see some of a lot of your videos are in the thousands, so 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. 3,000 seems to be average, and then sometimes you shoot up to 17,000, and there's a massive one here which is 200,000 views, and
I have one that's like 8 million or 6 million. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of all over the place. And what I found was anything relating to skincare performed really well. But sometimes I would want to talk about something not relating to skincare, and that's why, the views fluctuate.
Okay.
Because I also know that, I was just kind of like, I want to film something. I don't think about it too much. So I'm not that consistent either.
Yeah. Do you do any video vlogs? Sorry, they don't call them blogs, they call them vlogs.
Yeah, I used to, but I realized it was something I had to worry about. I would just be so concerned with trying to film my life.
Yeah.
Be like, oh my gosh, stop, we got to film this, instead of enjoying it. So it's just something I don't want to worry about. Okay. My life isn't that interesting either. So.
No, don't say that. You're an entrepreneur, so it'd be surprising if you archive it. How many people would follow? Okay, great stuff, Daisy. this is really interesting. I think it's time for a lightning round. I'm if ready when you are.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm gonna ask you 5 questions. I typically ask all of my guests, and you could just answer with a single, answer a single sentence, and it'd be brilliant. What are your future plans?
Just keep growing the business and keep doing what I'm doing.
Okay, awesome. How do you hire people?
Do an intensive phone screening, check references, and then I meet them in person. And I don't know, I'm someone who notices a lot of things about people, and I feel like every little thing tells you a lot about who they are. So there's certain things that I tend to look at.
Okay.
When I meet them.
Okay. What are your 3 indispensable tools for managing your business?
Slack, and I know Google Calendar. I know it's not like a huge thing, but I put everything on my Google Calendar.
Your to-dos are in your calendar?
Yeah, everything. It has to be in one place, and probably Google. Yeah, probably. Maybe like Audible or something.
Audible, okay.
So when I have time, I can listen. Yeah.
Listen to books.
Yeah, to books. Yeah.
Okay. Speaking of books, if you could choose a single book or resource that's made the highest impact on how you view building a business and growth, what would it be?
And it's funny because I saw it in your corner. The E-Myth, definitely.
The E-Myth. Oh.
Yeah. I'm super glad.
Interesting. You know what?
Yeah, because.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
No, because I read it when I just started my business, and that really inspired me to hire my first assistant. And now I'm going to reread it again because I feel like my problem is I'm working too much in the business right now. And so I need to like step back and get a refresher.
Absolutely. So this afternoon, actually, I had a quick power nap, and that's when inspiration, tends to come down my way. And I'd been pondering on the importance of data in a company, of metrics, a company always measuring metrics at every stage of a business, and what I realized is bigger companies are more obsessive with their metrics and the data. And I recall reading and listening to a book about it. It was either Ready, Fire, Aim, which is here, which is a really good book on products, or E-Myth. So I started going through Ready, Fire, Aim, and I couldn't find it, and I just thought, wow, it'd be E-Myth. And I checked E-Myth, and he talked about, Steven Gerber talked about information systems. He didn't necessarily talk about metrics, but information systems, like, how many calls came in, how things like that, and I was like, yes, that is it. So I'm rereading that part of information systems. It's a great book. It's brilliant, and it's a fast read. It's like a quick novel. So yeah, good stuff. Glad we're on the same page there.
Yeah. I just downloaded it on my Audible because I'm going to read it I'm going to listen to it while I'm driving. Later today.
Absolutely. Okay. Final question is, what's been your best mistake to date? By that I mean a setback that's giving you the biggest feedback.
To transition into this full time, I I left my other job. So it wasn't like it wasn't by choice. It was kind of like I had to leave. And that was very scary because I was like, well, what am I going to do? I have no job, blah, blah, blah. But I really believe if that didn't happen, I wouldn't have worked so hard on my YouTube channel.
Well, so it was a mistake at the time, and that's transformed to your success now.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Fantastic. All right, it's been an absolute pleasure having you. Thank you so much, Daisy, for joining up in the show.
Yes. Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So guys, follow Daisy. It's BANISH acnescars.com. banishacnescars.com, and her YouTube channel, just search for BANISH, or the Acne channel, actually, the Acne channel. I'll put all this in the links anyway in the show notes. If any of our guests wanted to get in touch with you, if you're happy, what would be the best way to reach out to you? On your YouTube channel?
Yeah, they can reach out to me on my YouTube channel, or they can email me press, PRESS at BANISH Acne Scars.
Got it. I'll put that in also. Okay. Thank you so much. And yeah,
thank you.
Catch you later. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Bye.